Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and today we're taking a look at this week's Sunday preview. This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. Sunday preview. The Dawnbringers Crusade continues as the Crone Seer circles above. The Great Wheel must turn. The Twin-Tailed Crusade faces ever great challenges in the next installment of the Dawnbringer series, which heads up next week's pre-order list, alongside 3 Spearhead boxes, Terrain for Warcry and Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and a selection of Black Library books. There's a little video. We're going to go ahead and skip through that and take a look at the full article. Dawnbringers Book 5, Shadow of the Crone. Both halves of the Twin-Tailed Crusade have battled through unimaginable horrors. Harrowed but unbroken, they now begin the hard task of finding new settlements in Ashi and Ghyran. Yet, as they labor to complete their task, a terrible conspiracy threatens to engulf Hammerhall Ashka. Luckily, Hanover Toll and his companion Armand Callis are on the case, and the mysterious Crone Seer lends them assistance from the shadows. This book features rules for Crethusa the Crone Seer, plus Callis and Toll and their ragtag band of allies, alongside a new army of renown, a new regiment of renown, the next part of the Twin-Tailed Crusade Cities of Sigmar Path to Glory Battle Pack, and Strongpoint Assault rules for team-based match play. You can also pledge your allegiance to Morai Heg with the limited edition of Shadow of Crone, which features soft, full-touch cover art with gold foil lettering and purple ribbon marker and gilt page edges. So a very cool piece of art right here on the cover. Definitely looking forward to see how this develops. Alright, so first we have the Saviors of Cinderfall, and these are just some beautiful models right here. I absolutely love these. They look perfect for D&D. The textured bases are awesome, and then just the overall individuality of them is great. Callis and Toll have a job to do: protect Hammerhall Ashka. A tough job made all the more difficult by a mysterious conspiracy involving a cask of Kingsblood wine being stockpiled in the winding catacombs beneath the city. As they root out the evil, they are joined by the capable thief Lysa Ravenya and spymaster Mistress Varantia, the Weaver of Whispers. Valis, the Keeper of Ashia, Lord Castellan, lends his celestial strength to the cause and is joined by his loyal Gryphound Balthus. Rules for using these miniatures in the Regiment of Renown can be found in the Shadow of the Crone. So again, beautiful set right here. I think I'm going to be picking these up just because they're so awesome. Alright, and then we have Crethusa's Crone Host. Gifted with the power of prophecy at the cost of a material sight, Crethusa the Crone Seer is the herald of Morai Heg, an ancient elven god consumed by Slaanesh. With the aid of divine visions and shadowy magic, Crethusa leads those who have defected from Maratha Kane's side. This box pairs the new character with 5 Doomfire Warlocks who can be built as Dark Riders, and 10 Sisters of Slaughter who can be built as Witch Elves. The perfect way to start an army for the Crone Seer Pariahs, a new army of renown with rules in the Shadow of the Crone Seer. So we got that new box right here. Pretty cool. Obviously, depending on how this is priced, I would imagine she is going to be a little bit on the pricey side, just because she is on a large base and everything, and a big name character. But realistically, alongside 2 units, I would imagine she's probably going to be somewhere around like that $120 price point, something like that. But cool box, definitely a cool new character, and interested to see how the story progresses. Alright, and then we have the first of the Spearheads being released. So we've got 3 of those coming out this week. First is the Spearhead Stormcast Eternals. And these are basically the Vanguard boxes for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Yndrasta, the Celestial Spear, plunges from the sky to lead a new Spearhead of Stormcast Eternals against the enemies of Sigmar. Supporting her are a trio of Annihilators who smash into combat with thunderous momentum, 10 Vanquishers armed with Celestial Greatswords, a swift Stormstrike Chariot pulled by specially bred Gryph Chargers and Knight Vexillor and Banner of Apophis, who aids in the fight against overwhelming odds. This box contains 16 miniatures and is a fantastic starting point or expansion for Stormcast Eternals armies. So this is a nice box, but keep in mind this is like a repack from Dominion. Obviously, Yndrasta, the 3 Annihilators, and then also the Vexilla all came from that box, and then you're basically just getting 10 of the Vanquishers and the Chariot as well. And because you can still get Dominion for so cheap, because it was just so massively overproduced, I would always tell people to go out and grab Dominion up, because it is still a bargain. But nice new box right here. I'm interested to see what route they take it in. I've talked about how I think this is basically going to be like the new Combat Patrol in Age of Sigmar 4th edition, and really like the idea of that. But it is strange how much it appears these boxes vary in points, so we'll have to see how that develops. Alright, and then we have Spearhead Cities of Sigmar, another really nice box right here. The brave men and women of Cities of Sigmar must do battle against terrifying foes and nightmarish beasts, with little to aid them but the weapon in their hands and the unwavering faith. The new Spearhead box contains 17 miniatures, 10 free guild steel helms, 5 Free Guild Cavaliers led by a veteran Free Guild Cavalier Marshal, and a devastating long-range support from an Ironweld Great Cannon. So really nice box right here. Anytime we see some new stuff packed up in a discount box, always happy to see that. So this is the first time we're seeing the Marshal and the Great Cannon discounted. So that'll be a nice snag for anybody that's after them. And then we had the Spearhead Flesh Eater Quartz. The Flesh Eater Quartz suffer under a supernatural delusion, which leads them to believe that they are members of a noble kingdom and not the gore-slick cannibals their terrified opponents must face. Drink deep from the Mad King's chalice with this Spearhead box containing 15 miniatures, a powerful aberrant archregent, and their 10 Crypt Guard attendants, who are joined by spine-chilling Varghulf Courtier and 3 Morbeg Knights who ride ferocious Night Shriekers into battle. So again, really nice box right here. The majority of this was in the launch box, and then obviously they put in a different character here, but definitely still a nice box right here. Gonna pass on this one because I do actually already have all of this stuff, but very cool box nonetheless. All right, and then we see the Warcry Terrain. So this is an interesting release right here. 3 pieces of Warcry Terrain. The Elder Gnarl Oak, Idol of Matsapoda, and Starfire Pylon are also returning to sale as separate releases, which can use to pump up your Warcry collection or add to your Warhammer Age of Sigmar battlefields. So I'm not really sure what the deal is with this, honestly, because these 3 pieces with like 2 other like scatter terrain sprues, and then basically a Warcry token sheet and some terrain cards, all came in like the Warcry box set, Scales of Talaxis. The box set was priced at like $112 for all that, but it was essentially them breaking up the big Warcry boxes into like the smaller 2-part boxes. So now they're going to break up one of those 2-part boxes into like individual terrain pieces. Just does not make a ton of sense to me right here. Maybe they're trying to like demonstrate some kind of value, or maybe they're just repacking this stuff to try to unload it. But if that big box set was $112, I can't imagine they're going to price these individual pieces of terrain at less than like $35 a piece. It just doesn't seem realistic at all. So let's just say hypothetically they price these at $35, which I think is on the low end. I don't think they're going to do that. That would come out to basically like $105. The whole box set is $112, and you would get 2 additional sprues, the Warcry token sheet, and then the cards also. So I'm not sure what route they're going with these, but typically when Games Workshop boxes up a piece of terrain or something like that, it's somewhere around like $40 to $60. So let's just say hypothetically it's right in the middle, and these are like $50 a piece. I don't think they're going to sell all that well, and you would be spending $150 getting 2 less terrain pieces, no token sheet or cards, and you're paying like $150 instead of $112. So I'm really not sure what's going on here. This feels like a desperate attempt to move some stuff that didn't sell well. Now I have this Scales of Talaxis set, and this terrain is really nice. It goes extremely well with all of the previous edition stuff, but to tell you the truth, I think they just dragged out this whole like setting and terrain set too long, and now people are just exhausted with it. So I really don't think these are going to sell all that well, which is a shame because it's awesome terrain. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch, and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now, back to the video. All right, and then we had the Maw Pit. So this was in the other half of the box set. They broke up the big box set. They did 1 terrain set, and they did 1 set with the 2 warbands. And then with the 2 warbands, you got this small piece of terrain, the Maw Pit, which is freaking awesome. Again, really nice piece of terrain right here. Definitely a big fan. Just interesting to see them pulling it out and selling it separately. When the Ogre Maw tribes go to battle, gastromantric magic saturates the realms, causing great rents and churning orifices to open up in the land itself. The Maw tribes believe these to be manifestations of the Great Maw, and will eagerly sacrifice unwilling victims by hurling them into the pits, ringed with flesh-tearing teeth. The huge terrain piece was first available in Warcry Hunter and Hunted, and will be available to pre-order separately next week. So then I imagine at some point in time that we're going to get the individual warbands from Hunter and Hunted, and then at that point in time you'll be able to purchase all 3 of the components individually, which again I totally get with the warbands, and maybe because it's a terrain piece that could be used in Sigmar as well, but just seems very odd for them to break this up and then sell this stuff separately. Because they broke up a big box into 2 smaller boxes, and then they're breaking up the 2 smaller boxes into like individual components. All right, and then we have Callus and Toll. Before the events of Dawnbringer 5, Shadow of the Crone began, Armin Callus and Hanover Toll are tasked by the Order of Azir to explore the underbelly of the Cinderfall district of Hammerhall Ashka to discover the perpetrators behind grisly ritualist murder of powerful gang lord. Callus and Toll by David Annandale gives readers a closer look at the life of Hammerhall Ashka and will be available for pre-order in hardback, ebook, and audiobook formats. So very cool. I like the idea of this story. I really like the idea of them like selling this tainted wine, and that's causing like the flesh eater courts and everything's like madness. Very cool little backstory there. All right, so we got quite a bit coming out this week. All of it is like Sigmar themed, which tends to be a little less exciting as Sigmar is popular, but not nearly as popular as like 40K. But definitely some cool stories here in the new Dawnbringer book and everything. I'm sure people will be after that and seeing how everything progresses. Definitely a fan of the Saviors of Cinderfall. Some really nice looking models right here, and then a book to go along with them as well. And then, of course, some nice new boxes. First, the Dawnbringer box, and then also those 3 new Vanguard boxes as well. And I'm not sure why they're changing to Spearheads, but hopefully in time that'll develop and we'll have a better idea. I like to think that they just don't want to use the name Vanguard, and that's why they're going to Spearhead. But it does seem strange after they essentially released all of the Sigmar boxes as Vanguards to now switch the name to Spearhead and then start like re-releasing them slightly different. But we'll see how it progresses with Sigmar 4th edition right around the corner. So let me know what you're most excited about, what you're going to be picking up. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. Special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the video. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on Games Workshop products. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.